So I think so. I guess the timeline is probably like 15-ish years ago now. So this is actually an interesting story in of itself. So my dad, Central Texas, grew up a preacher's daughter,
Mm,
and I was listening to like old, probably never been heard of 60s, 70s, and 80s Christian like blues
okay.
and alternative rock. It was great music. Like if I go back and compare the musicality,
Mhm.
I mean, I love the lyrics too. They're my own, faith-based things, but just comparing the music specifically, I'm like, this is great. They were awesome. But I think that was mostly just his, ear for music. He sought out what he wanted to listen to, and that was what he wanted to listen to. And then as I got a little bit older, my brothers were trying to, of course, branch out from that sort of stuff. And they found a lot of like 90s, like grungy rock Christian music, that they loved that. But it actually really wasn't until I got a little bit older, I think, high school years or so, that I started being like, okay, now let me go like discover music for
Mm,
myself and see like what my taste is. But
mm,
that's kind of what I grew up on. And I think it's interesting, and I think it probably comes out in my kind of like genre of
yeah.
songwriting, where it's like this doesn't like super fit into one
Mm.
specific thing all the time, but there's a lot of influences there for sure.
For sure, for sure. It's having listened to SoundCloud, the song that you have up on your SoundCloud right now. It's a really cool song. You can definitely pick up a lot of different influences off of that. So as you were kind of starting to make that journey into your own music, what was kind of that process like? Who were you listening to? Like you'd mentioned that you had all the influences from your dad, but who were some of those bands that you were listening to as you kind of decided to make that transition into writing your music?
So I think so. I guess the timeline is probably like 15-ish years ago now. So this is the first kind of bands that I was like, oh, I love that, and just like clung on to them and started listening to like the songwriting and everything with them. And then when that was around the time I started writing songs, um, One Republic was huge for me. I loved them. They were top notch. Coldplay was also one of them. John Mayer was another.